A good movie will inspire you to reach for the stars, but I think there may be a word missing. But either way, I found this quote when I was 18 and I put it in this book. So by now, many of you know that Colin and I have sold everything to follow our dream of traveling the country with our horses. But we didn't get to that conclusion on our own. There were a few different things that went into it. It's something both of us have always wanted to do, but usually fear and other obligations hold you back from doing something. And what I've found, as the quote in my little book says, is that movies and other forms of media or art like music or even YouTube videos can inspire people to chase their dreams. And so I want to make videos that inspire people to chase their dreams. And so I thought I would share some movies and some TV shows that inspired me and encouraged me and showed me that it was possible to follow my dreams. Perhaps the most inspiring movie to start off our list is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. This movie stars Ben Stiller, and he also directed it as well. This is a movie about a man going through his life who has worked the same job for years, but has always dreamed of doing something incredible. He faces the reality of being laid off from his job, and he's faced with the option to get out of his comfort zone and push himself further and actually pursue his dream, or he can just go on with life and continue doing what he's doing. And I find this movie very inspiring because it's actually very realistic. All of us daydream about what we would like to be doing, but very few of us actually take the bull by the horns and do what we dream about doing. One of the biggest drivers of the movie is that the character is constantly put in situations where he can choose to do something he would otherwise be afraid of doing. He jumps into the Arctic Ocean, he rides on top of a plane over a volcano, he climbs treacherous mountains to look for someone. Overall, I would say that the man is very adventurous, but his fear holds him back. So in all of these scenarios, he has to choose to overcome the fear and do what he has dreamed about doing. The overall takeaway from the movie is to start doing what you've been dreaming about. And that really resonated with me about having this dream that seemed a little crazy, like traveling full-time with horses, but there came a point in time where it was the perfect time frame to do it. Like, we don't have kids yet, we're not tied to a job, we could easily sell our house and make money to pay for the trip. And so I was faced with the option to either pursue my dream or just keep on doing what I was doing. And so this movie encouraged me to pursue that dream. The next movie that inspired me is a documentary called Unbranded, where a group of friends take a herd of Mustangs and travel on the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada, and it takes place over the course of a few months as they traverse across the American West. So even though this documentary appeals to horse people because it's about riding horses across the country, I would say it is a very inspiring movie even for people who aren't equestrians or don't have horses. The group of friends document the whole process from the beginning of purchasing the wild Mustangs and taking them through training and prepping them for the trip, and then they document their whole trip as they go across all of these states and all of these places and across some crazy environments and terrains, and they face dangerous situations. And then of course at the end when they finally reach Canada, and it's a very inspiring moment. Unbranded inspired me because it's all about doing. So you can have a dream and you can have a big dream, but if you aren't willing to put in the hard work and do the process, you're not going to be able to accomplish it. And I believe the reason a lot of people don't accomplish their dreams is because they aren't willing to put in the work that goes into them. Dreams are dreams usually because they're hard, and there's a certain aspect to them that's going to be difficult. And I can speak for us, the logistics behind our trip would be enough to deter me from doing the trip, but I know that it's worth it, and so I've put in the hard work of, first of all, planning routes, finding campgrounds, researching the equipment we need, researching the type of trailer and the type of truck we need, and then going to find those and buy those things. It's all a very overwhelming and stressful process, but I know that it's not forever. It's only for a short period of time, and then we'll be on our way. Just like in Unbranded, how they experienced hardships, I'm sure that we will come across hardships as well, but it's just something where we will have to just get it done and do it to fulfill the dream. My next point is actually a series, and it has a few different seasons. It's The Long Way Round, The Long Way Down, and The Long Way Up. Those are all 3 seasons. Everyone knows Ewan McGregor from Star Wars, but to me, I know him from Long Way Round. Him and his friend Charlie Boorman document their travels across the world, basically, on motorcycles. It all starts when they come up with the idea to ride their motorcycles from England, going west through Siberia, around into Alaska, through America, and to New York. So they basically go around the entire world. Movies tend to be a little idealistic, like with their shorter time frames, and they really just give you the highlights of the story. Long Way Round, as a series, gives you the in-depth look of everything that went into their adventure. If there's one thing that I learned from this show, it's to enjoy the journey. One thing that I really admired about Ewan McGregor and Charlie Boorman is that they had fun along the way, and it wasn't so much about reaching their destination as it was them experiencing the world as they traveled through it. And in a sense, I feel more draw for the journey than I do to actually accomplishing a goal or getting to a destination on our trip. There are obviously places I would like to see. I would like to see Utah. I'd like to see Oregon and Montana and Wyoming, but there's not a true destination in mind for me. I just want to go and experience the journey. I think y'all are gonna laugh at me about this, but my next show, this is a show that has inspired me, is One Piece. Now there's 1,100 episodes in this show, and I would say we're about 1/4 of the way through. So I don't know exactly all that happens still, but from what I've seen, this show is about a kid who wants to be king of the pirates, yet he's willing to stick to his morals and support people and stand up for people along the way. He finds people to join his crew and he makes lifelong friends. And for him, although he is pursuing his dream, other people are able to come alongside and catch his vision. And in turn, while he's pursuing his dream and they're supporting him, they are also pursuing their dreams. And so this show really highlights the fact that your dreams aren't supposed to be just for yourself. Your dreams can inspire other people to act, and that's why I want to share our adventure with people on YouTube, because if people can watch my videos and it inspires them to follow their dreams, then hooray, you know? And another piece of this isn't just my dream. While we are traveling with the horses and I'll be riding my horses everywhere, it's also my husband's dream, and we've worked together to come up with this plan on this adventure we want to do. Colin loves traveling, he's traveled the world, and he thought that the one piece he hasn't seen from the world is America. And so this gives him the opportunity to see America and every part of it that he dreamt about seeing. The main character in One Piece is named Luffy, and if there's another thing that I've learned from him, it's to not be burdened by the stresses and the problems that come your way. Luffy is happy-go-lucky, and as Colin likes to put it, we need to learn how to go with the flow. And so that's something I personally need to work on because I tend to be a little type A. All of my main movies and TV shows up until now have been about travel. However, I don't want you to think that your dreams have to be about traveling the world or traveling America, because they don't. Dreams can be vast and they can be anything. And so the next movie I want to highlight is The Pursuit of Happiness. In The Pursuit of Happiness, Chris dreams about being a stockbroker. But beyond that, he dreams about giving his son a good life, and he faces many obstacles to do this. He faces poverty and fatherhood and staying on top of the heavy workload that comes with his training to be a stockbroker. The ending of this movie is very satisfying and will definitely inspire you to pursue your dreams. If there's one thing I've learned from Chris Gardner in general, it's that pursuing your dreams is going to be hard at some points. That said, half the battle is just deciding to go for it. A phrase I've always liked is, with little risk, there's little reward. And I know that's true for investing. If you put a little money in, you're only going to gain a little money back. But if you put in a large amount of money, you're more apt to get more money back. And it's the same principle here. The amount of work that you put into something will make it that much more satisfying when you accomplish it. When we announced our journey, we had largely a good response and people supporting us. There were people who just shared their concerns with us overall, which I totally understand, and I appreciate that as well. But I noticed that a lot of those comments were from a place of fear. Like, some of them were saying, if you get injured or your horse gets injured, that's the end of the trip. Well, the fact of the matter is we could get injured not being on our trip. A lot of people thought it was insane that we sold our house to pay for a truck and trailer, especially now when the market's crazy and real estate is through the roof. Buying that house was a dream, and buying that house was hard work. And if I did it once, I can definitely do it again. They brought up concerns with the horses and how the horses will handle traveling and handle the stress of that. And I definitely understand that, and I hear that and take the sentiment. I also know horses are very adaptable, and so that's why right now we're going through the process of training and working with them to help them adapt to that lifestyle. So while all these comments are valid, I can't let fear or hard work deter me from chasing my dream. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, it's that it's never too late to pursue your dream. You just have to decide to go for it and then do it. In the words of Walt Disney, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them.